Good evening. This Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024 meeting of the Richmond Advisory Plan Commission is called to order. Would you please call the roll?
Lynn Clark.
Here.
Michael Devine.
Here.
Matt Evans.
Here.
Joe Price.
Here.
Justin Scheiben.
Here.
Greg Steens.
Here.
Rob Tidrow.
Here.
Gary Turner.
Here.
Tiana Washington.
Here.
Bruce Whistle.
Here. Okay, we do have a quorum present, and we're able to conduct business this evening. Members should have received the minutes for the March 27th meeting in their packet. Do we have any corrections or additions to make to those?
Hearing none, I move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to accept the minutes of the March 27th meeting as received. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Proof of public notice.
Thank you. This notice was published in advance. It states the time, date, place, and items on the agenda for the hearings on the agenda for tonight's public hearing. I would ask the board to make a motion to accept the proof of publication.
I'll make a motion to accept the proof of publication.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to accept the proof of public notice. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Two pieces of information here tonight. I want to welcome Judge Justin Scheiben, our newest member. Thank you for serving the city in this way.
Thank you.
We appreciate having you.
Yeah, pleasure to join you guys.
And also, I want to make note of the fact that Nick Cerranti, who was a longtime member of this commission, I saw where he died at age of 96.
Oh, my goodness.
And I know he was also on the park board, I think, and served the city in several different ways. So I ask you all to remember him and his service to the city. Under new business tonight, we have three ordinances. Ordinance 1, 2024 is approving Resolution 1, 2024, an amendatory declaratory resolution of the Richmond Redevelopment Commission to allow the expenditure of revenues collected within the Richmond Tax Increment Financing, also known as TIF district, for public safety services within said district.
Good evening. Beth Fields, Director of Strategic Initiatives. Thank you for the opportunity to come before you tonight to request approval of Plan Commission Order 1, 2024. In your packets, you should have received a copy of Resolution 1, 2024, which Bruce just read the title for you there, and that was approved by the Richmond Redevelopment Commission at their meeting on May 14th of this year. Last year, House Enroll Act 1454 was approved and went into effect on July 1st. It is retroactive to January 1st of 2023, which allows for the expenditure of tax increment financing revenue within the district on public safety expenditures. Those expenditures can be either capital or operational in nature. In order to begin using those TIF funds for public safety expenditures, the Redevelopment Commission must amend their development plan in order to list that as an eligible expenditure by the Commission. This is the first step was taken by the Redevelopment Commission on May 14th, approving Resolution 1. The next step in this process is the approval of this body of Order 1, 2024. The redevelopment plan is the spending guide for the Richmond Redevelopment Commission. That spending guide is developed based on the initiatives and the vision in Richmond Rising, the city's comprehensive plan. The only modification to that development plan at this time is the addition of item number 10 that you'll see on the last page in your packet, and that reads funding to assist with a public and law enforcement system to preserve peace and order and a firefighting and fire prevention system. The Richmond Redevelopment Commission respectfully requests that you approve Plan Commission Order 1, 2024. After the Plan Commission order is approved, Common Council will be asked to adopt a resolution approving the order of the Plan Commission. The Redevelopment Commission will then advertise and hold a public hearing at their regularly scheduled meeting. After that public hearing, that body will consider the adoption of a declaratory, confirmatory resolution. Once that is approved, the resolution will be recorded with the county recorder. It will be delivered to the county auditor, and then it will be submitted to the Department of Local Government Finance through the State of Indiana's Transparency Portal Gateway. I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have at this time.
Okay, I would like to bring up, we do not have a copy of the resolution.
Yeah, we just got emailed it when you, Dustin, emailed us last week. It was on attachment.
This wasn't included in the packet that was
No.
mailed out.
Do you have,
What kind of deadline are we looking at on this?
we are fine. We have some additional work that the additional due diligence that the Redevelopment Commission will be working on. So if this is held to your next meeting, that is not an issue for our timeline.
I think we probably should have, we should probably do that. Everyone should have an opportunity to,
Absolutely.
and I don't know if, we have a lot of people that I'm sure have come here since we've had a TIF district. So if you would come, when you come back next month, if you would be prepared to discuss how the TIF district works.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that would be helpful, or if you want to send
Certainly.
a one-page report on that in advance. But I think everyone should have a better understanding of that.
Absolutely. I will do that.
Okay, so we will hold Order 1, 2024. Thank you, Beth. Appreciate it. Ordinance 24, 2024 is the petition of Kitchell Corporation LLC owner, Gordon Moore agent, requesting a zoning map amendment to rezone a parcel from medium-density, single-family residential R2 to agricultural AG at 4465 Union Pike, Richmond, Indiana. Parcel 89-16-08-300-209.000-028. Mr. Moore.
Gordon Moore with Beals Moore Associates representing Kitchell Corporation LLC. They are requesting zoning from R2 to agricultural. If you're familiar with the location of this property, it's on the very north fringe of the 2-mile jurisdiction of the city, probably about a half a mile south of the intersection of Union Pike and US 27. This property has been used forever as agricultural purposes. They want to continue to use it as agriculture. They would like to request to put buildings on this property that would not fit the zoning for R2, and those buildings would be primarily for the storage of farming equipment. The nearest utilities, I believe, is a quarter of a mile away to the west, to the east, and that would be sanitary, and water, I believe, is about a mile away. So the possibility or the potential of this developing into residential is very limited at this point due to the financial costs. So if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you.
Any questions for Mr. Moore?
Thank you.
Thank you, Gordon. Ordinance 2024 is on public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak either in favor or in opposition to the ordinance? Seeing none, public hearing is closed, and we'll have the staff report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ordinance 24 is a petition of Kitchell Corp. LLC owner, Gordon Moore is the agent, located at 4465 Union Pike in Richmond, requesting a zoning map amendment to rezone a parcel from medium-density single-family residential to agricultural. Current use is agricultural, cash grain, and general farm. Zoning is medium-density single-family residential, and the tract size is about 68.69 acres. Adjacent zoning to the north is A1, which is agricultural county zoning. To the south and the east is medium-density single-family residential, and to the west is county zoning for single-family suburban residents. Adjacent land use to the north and south is agricultural, cash grain, and general farm. To the east is agricultural, cash grain, and general farm, and single-family residential. And to the west is agricultural, vacant, and single-family residential. The proposed zoning map amendment would rezone the subject property from R2 to AG to allow the property to expand farming practices on the site, including the construction of a 90 by 200-foot pole barn. If rezoned to agricultural, the following uses would be allowed as either permitted uses or special exception uses. I'm going to go ahead and read these into the record. Agricultural tourism, dwelling unit, farmer's market, home business type 1 and 2, roadside sales, small wind turbine systems, solar panels, agricultural crop production, hobby farming, land conversion, orchard, raising farm animals, roadside sales, private stable, storage of agricultural products, tree farm, truck farming, vineyard, wholesale tree nursery, plant nursery, stable, single-family detached dwelling, and small fair housing facility. And the following accessory or special exceptions, which would require approval from the Board of Zoning Appeals, would now be included, which include private airport, dwelling unit, private heliport, home business type 3, large wind turbine system, confined feeding operation, farm implement sales, processing of agricultural products, raising of farm animals, sales of agricultural products, campground, event barn, farmer's market, commercial and home kennel, seasonal attraction, winery, solar park, telecommunication facility, cemetery or mausoleum, police or fire station, and bed and breakfast. On May 8th, 2024, the public hearing was advertised in Western Wayne News. On May 9th, 15 adjacent property owners were notified by mail. I believe we received one response.
One response from Doug Savages on Union Pike in favor.
On May 10th, 2024, a sign was placed on the property notifying passersby of the May 22nd public hearing. Planning staff consulted with all city departments and utilities to determine any objections based on public health and safety. No health and safety objections were raised. Staff recommends approval for amending the zoning map 4465 Union Pike from R2 to AG based on the following factors. Number 1, Richmond Rising Community Action Plan compatibility. The adjoining zoning districts of agricultural and medium-density single-family residential, as well as the similar adjacent county zoning districts, are considered appropriate adjacent zoning districts for agricultural per UDO Article 2.03. The Richmond Rising future land use map identifies the location of the property as agricultural/rural residential moving forward, which is compatible with the property's current and proposed zoning district. The comprehensive plan states that appropriate land use within the agricultural and rural residential place types include farms, plant nurseries, and other agricultural uses for growing plants and crops, as well as detached single-family homes as farmsteads on large rural lots, which the property will continue to satisfy. Number 2, current conditions and the character of current structures and uses in the district. East Tingler Road is a combination of large agricultural parcels ranging from roughly 50 to 100 acres and rural residential properties ranging from roughly 1/2 to 1.5 acres apiece. The Westchester Addition, which is a standard R2 subdivision with access off of North US Highway 27, is located approximately 850 feet east of the subject property. The proposed agricultural zoning district would be in line with the property's current agricultural use, as well as those of several of the nearby properties. Number 3, the most desirable use for which the land in each district is adapted. Agricultural uses are entirely appropriate for and consistent with properties located at the far north edge of the city's 2-mile fringe. These areas have the lowest density in Richmond and include large expanses of undeveloped open land and natural areas. The comprehensive plan states that development should be discouraged to limit the conversion of these areas into more intense uses. Number 4, the conservation of property values throughout the jurisdiction. Agricultural zoning will be consistent with the current use of both the subject property and numerous properties in the area. This property has been used agriculturally for well over 100 years, and it is unlikely the zoning change will impact nearby property values. Number 5, responsible development and growth. The subject property is located approximately 1.5 miles north of the Richmond city boundary, encouraging the continuation of agricultural and rural residential uses on the undeveloped outer edge of the city's extrajudicial territory is responsible planning and practice. Finally, if the rezone is approved, the property's current agricultural use will lose its legal nonconforming status by becoming a permitted use within its zoning district. And any improvement to the property, including the proposed 90 by 200-foot pole barn, must still receive an improvement location permit from the Department of Infrastructure and Development prior to construction. There are no written commitments, and I'd be happy to address any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Purvis? Thank you. Okay, ordinance 24, 2024 is up for discussion.
Much to
Comments?
discuss.
Okay. Hearing no comments, Chair will accept a motion.
I move to approve.
And second?
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 24, 2024. Please call the roll.
Lynn Clark,
Yes.
Michael Devine,
Yes.
Matt Evans,
Yes.
Joe Price,
Aye.
Justin Scheiben,
Yes.
Greg Steins,
Aye.
Rob Tidrow,
Aye.
Gary Turner,
Aye.
Tiana Washington,
Aye.
Bruce Whissel.
Aye. Ordinance passed 10-0, or the recommendation. Thank you. Next on the agenda is ordinance 27, 2024, which is the petition of Sidney Hines, owner and agent, requesting a zoning map amendment to rezone a partial from institutional IS to medium-density, single-family residential R2 at 1720 Holsapple Road, Richmond, Indiana, parcel ID 89-16-19-330-406.000-030. Good evening.
Good evening.
Please give your name and your address, please.
My name is Sidney Hines for 1720 Holsapple Road. I'm here today to request a petition to written amendment for the zoning map to change this property from institutional to medium-density, single-family dwelling. Wondering if you had any questions.
Okay, are you going to be using this as a rental or as your residence?
I'll be using it as my primary residence.
Okay. Good. Any questions?
The building is not a residence at this point, is it?
No, it is not.
So you'll do the renovations, or will you, do you plan on tearing it down and building a residence?
I plan on converting the current structure to a home.
Yeah, it was a church, was it not?
It was.
Yeah.
Other questions?
Yes, just that this too is not in our packet that was mailed. I just read it in the email that Dustin sent. So
Oh, I
Yeah.
received it.
I don't have it in mine.
I didn't get it either. No. But I did read it.
I did read it online.
I read it online too.
Okay, I will ask the judgment of the board. What do you want to do at this point? Looks to be pretty straightforward.
Yes. I say we move forward.
Move forward on it? Okay,
Yeah, yes.
all right. Okay, any other questions then? At this point? Okay, thank you, sir. Staff report. We're all
Public
ears.
hearing. Do you need to open up for public hearing first?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's right, I'm sorry. Yes, ordinance 27, 2024 is up for public hearing. Do we have anyone wishing to speak either in favor or in opposition to the ordinance? Seeing none, we'll close public hearing and now go to staff report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ordinance 27 is the petition of Sidney Hines, owner and agent, located at 1720 Holsapple Road in Richmond, requesting a zoning map amendment to rezone a parcel from institutional to medium-density single-family residential. Current use is single-family residential, zoning is institutional, the tract is about half an acre. Adjacent zoning in all directions, or to the north, south, and east is medium-density single-family residential, and to the west is medium-density single-family residential and high-intensity industrial. Adjacent land use in all directions is single-family residential. The Proposed zoning map amendment would rezone the subject property from institutional to medium-density, single-family residential to allow the property owner to convert the existing church on the property into a single-family home. And if approved to R2, the following uses would be allowed as either permitted uses or special exception uses: home business type 1, small wind turbine system, solar panels, single-family detached dwelling, small fair housing facility. And for the special exception uses, there would be an accessory dwelling unit, home business type 2, non-owner occupied short-term rental, and police or fire station. May 8th, 2024, the public hearing was advertised in Western Wayne News. On May 9th, 20 adjacent property owners were notified by mail.
We received one back in favor from Greg McFarland at 2511 Flatley Road with these comments. I just hope he takes care of the place and it doesn't end up looking like the one next door.
May 10th, a sign was placed on the property notifying passersby of the May 22nd public hearing. Planning staff consulted with all city departments and utilities to determine any objections based on public health and safety. No health and safety objections were raised. Staff recommends approval for amending the zoning map at 1720 Holsapple Road from IS to R2 based on the following factors. Number 1, Richmond Rising Community Action Plan compatibility. The comprehensive plan's future land use map highlights the northwest portion of the city, including the subject property, as industrial moving forward, noting that its proximity to interstate and railroad access make it a prime area for industrial use. In this regard, the proposed zoning district, like its current designation, does not adhere to the comprehensive plan's long-term vision for the area. However, this property is located within a long-established residential area amidst dozens of lots that continue to be used for housing. It is unrealistic to restrict requests such as this, as there are no near or medium-term plans to convert the Holsapple neighborhood into industrial lots. Number 2, current conditions and the character of current structures and uses in each district. The subject property is located within the Holsapple neighborhood, which is an unplatted residential community that is almost exclusively zoned R2. Holsapple is a unique cluster of residentially zoned properties surrounded in all directions by industrial and industrial commercial districts and uses, including fueling stations, manufacturing, warehousing, a solar park, and the U.S. Highway 35 and I-70 interchange. While the proposed residential use is out of sync with the development surrounding the Holsapple community, it is entirely in line with the conditions and character of Holsapple itself. Number 3, the most desirable use for which the land in each district is adapted. As noted above, the most desired use for this region of the city is industrial moving forward. However, the subject property, as well as those surrounding it, have already been built out as a residential neighborhood. Number 4, the conservation of property values throughout the jurisdiction. The conversion of the subject property from a church into a single-family home will align with surrounding uses and should not negatively affect property values. And finally, number 5, responsible development and growth. Having a residential neighborhood surrounded by industrial uses is less than ideal, and the proposed rezone would play a minor role in prolonging this incongruity. However, the current institutional zoning is similarly inconsistent, and the impact of the rezone will be minor. There are no rent commitments, and I'd be happy to take any questions you might have.
Any questions for Mr. Purvis? Okay, thank you, Dustin. Okay, we're open for discussion. Any comments? I guess I would like to point out a couple of things here. First of all, I've seen some beautiful transformation of older churches into residential property, so I'm not concerned so much about that. But as a city, I think the last statistics that I saw, we were close to 22% of our city zoning is institutional. And I think it's difficult to find placement for older, small church buildings and structures. So it would help, I think, to prevent blight in the future by being able to find a use for this that would conform this closely to the neighborhood. Any other comments? Chair will accept a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to to recommend approval of ordinance 27, 2024. Would you please call the roll?
Glenn Clark,
Yes.
Michael Devine,
Yes.
Matt Evans,
Yes.
Joe Price,
Aye.
Justin Scheiben,
Yes.
Greg Steins,
Aye.
Rob Tidrow,
Aye.
Gary Turner,
Aye.
Tiana Washington,
Aye.
Bruce Whissel,
Aye. Recommendation for ordinance 27, 2024 is passed. Good luck at city council. Okay, the filing deadline for today was May 22nd, which is today, and I know we will be having Order 1, 2024 coming back next month, so are there any other ordinances that you have scheduled?
So the deadline for the June meeting is actually a week from today, May 29th. So as of this moment, we do not have any other petitions, but there's still a week for them to possibly come in.
Okay, any other business come before? Okay, Chair will accept a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion and second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.